Well, congrats to Purdue. They played a really hard-fought and really good execution team, obviously, coming in the game, but made things very difficult on us on the offensive end of the floor. And our free throw shooting and inability to make some outside shots isn't freeing anything up. And I thought our guys, for the most part, especially in the first half, really competed hard, made things as difficult as they possibly could, challenged the three-point shots, and going over a lot of the handoffs and ball screens was a major point of emphasis. And then, to start the second half, they got going. I think Carson may have hit two, or Klein hit two, and then Carson hit one. And when they make threes, they're a different team. And give them credit. Guys did a really nice job. For us, let's get back to work. We have a quick turnaround, and we're right back at it at Northwestern on Tuesday night.
Okay. First question. Jeff.
Into the first half, beginning of the second, it seemed like they were key stretches. Was there anything particular you pointed to and said, okay, this was the big problem there?
Well, end of the first half was turnovers. We turned it over, I think, 3 times, maybe in the last 4:25. That got them in transition. Sort of got a couple easy baskets. Defensively, was trying to get back and obviously keep them off the foul line. But I think it was about a 9-2, 10-2 last 4 minutes of the deal, which hurt us. And turnovers were a big part of that one. First part of the second half was defensively just not, honestly, a couple key things. Just going under a couple handoffs, they stop behind, they make them. And those are the rhythm shots that obviously they make. And once they start to make the threes, it's a little bit difficult. The lead got up double figures. For us to be able to climb back, we were going to have to be able to, on our end, convert. We're going to have to make some shots. And obviously, when you did get the opportunity to get to the foul line, you're going to have to knock them in, and we didn't do that.
How much of a factor did the noise play into your ability to execute?
It was a typical road game for us. I mean, it's no different than Duke, no different than Michigan, no different than Arkansas. They have a great crowd. Obviously, they feed off it. It's a great environment. One of the fun ones to compete in, but I don't think the noise had anything to do with execution.
Yes, I know it's early to diagnose, but just what didn't Romeo get going that kind of slowed him down offensively? It just looked like he was kind of off center all day.
Yeah, I mean, every player has their games every once in a while where it's not their day, and I thought early in the game they were really loaded up. He picked up a tough foul in transition defense on a grab where Carson Edwards was coming down south. He got a quick one there, and then his second one was a charge where he tried to drive the ball, and they were in there today. I mean, they loaded the box up pretty good on us, and that took him out, I think, a little bit of his rhythm right away. And, this is a tough environment to kind of get in. He tried the second half. He was very, very aggressive in the second half. But it's tough, everything was at the basket. They got great size, and they make things hard on him. For the most part, he wasn't, at his best today, but he'll be fine. He's a bounce-back guy.
Justin.
Woodall winning the decision to start Zach and put him on Carson, how did you feel like you did in that assignment, and how does that change what you can do on the offense side?
Just coming into this one in general, moving Rob back into the lineup is what we're doing. Al having a couple days there, we didn't practice a whole lot, kind of played it in. But Zach's an energy guy, and I think Zach being a competitive guy that he is, especially as the game gets going in those first 4 or 5 minutes when he's dialed in and playing the way he did. I thought he did a pretty good job defensively in the first half. Second half maybe there's some breakdowns, but it wasn't for lack of effort or anything like that. We'll see. Every game's a little different. We're going to obviously have to continue to keep tweak things and adjust our lineup a little bit, but Al's a big part of what we're doing as well.
Mike.
It seemed like Purdue was pretty willing to let Zach shoot, playing off him there. I guess how much have you tried to coach Zach to actually take those shots when they're available, but also...
Well, this is the first time he's obviously starting to play some major minutes for us. He's been down in his minutes at times, but without question, he's got to be ready to make that shot. He worked very hard in the offseason to do it. He obviously hasn't gotten into a great rhythm in terms of his season and what he's done, but he looked more of himself here tonight with how he played in terms of his energy and his effort. I think when I look at the deal, he steals... He goes 7 defensive rebounds and 3 steals. I mean, that's kind of what you're looking for him, a hustle plays, and he's got to be willing to step up and make that. Justin as well. Right now at times out there we're really getting a clogged paint just because of the way that they're treating what we're trying to do in terms of the spacing. I think Justin stepped up tonight and played a really good game for himself. Hopefully he can build on that and have some confidence. Got to have confidence right now offensively, just in terms of being able to take and make the shot.
Mike.
You mentioned Purdue loading the box. Is that something you're seeing more of late because of the inability to hit the three-point shot? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. I think Maryland obviously kept bigs in the paint. I think Nebraska obviously ran guys into the paint. I think these guys here today had a concerted effort. I mean, we're a team that gets fouled a lot. We're a team that plays inside out, and teams are obviously trying to take that away. So we have to adjust to it some form or fashion. We got to be smart with sort of what we're doing. But I'm not going to make a big deal about it right now. We have to continue to play really hard. We have to continue to find a way to continue to develop our depth, and we have to find a way to, keep banging away on that rock and crack it back open so we can get ourselves feeling good again just in terms of our, morale. I mean, right now it's a team that competes. It's a team that's struggling just a little bit. We're going through a hard time. It's nobody to blame but, obviously ourselves. You got to get the job done, so that's what we have to do.
Their bigs were able to get loose a few times coming off those DHOs and off-ball screens, pick and rolls. Is that a product of just the pressure that Carson and Ryan Klein put on the defense, or was there a larger execution issue there?
No, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, they're running 1,000 miles an hour off triples and staggers, and they're coming off those handoffs to shoot. You got to take, obviously, something away, which is the shot. And they do a great job. Harms was a big target on his roll. Thought Williams was a big target on the roll. Those guys got there, and that's when it comes down to sort of your base guys always kind of sniffing it out and being able to keep it as tight as it possibly can as those handoffs and ball screens are happening. So, we're not the only team that struggles with it. It's hard to guard those guys, but we'll have to do a better job, obviously, the next time we see them.
How did you see Nigel Eastern affecting this game for Purdue, just with his size and what he can do, I guess, on both ends of the floor with that?
Well, he was great in the first half. He had 10 and 7. The second half, he ends up finishing with a double-double at 10 and 10. Physical, driver, strong, plays great defense on one end, and then he gives you an added element on the other end because he can post guards, he can also offensive rebound. So he hurt us in the first half immensely in that last 3 minutes where he got obviously an and one, and then he hit us from the offensive rebound as well. So that was 5 of his points right there. And he's an added weapon for him. He does a great job defensively. He's physical. He rebounds the ball for him, and today he drove it and was able to score.
It seemed like Rob took a while to get into the flow of today's game. Had those 2 first-half fouls as well. Just how do you assess his homecoming, and how do you think he performed as he still has to try to find his way back into the rotation of things?
He got going there in the first half. It was unfortunate because I thought he started to play well before he picked up his second foul. That sort of balanced us a little bit in that first half, and then he had to sit. Second half, obviously coming back, we have to watch the film. But, in Rob's defense, he's just starting now to start to get that wind in his feet and his legs under him. His offensive game in terms of being able to shoot the ball right now hasn't been able to break out. But I think just to knock on wood, as long as he stays healthy and kind of continues to stay with it, he can start to get his shooting form back a little bit more for us. And then defensively, he was better tonight. He was better. He had more stamina, so to speak, to be able to play. And he was at 23 minutes tonight in a tough environment. He ended up getting, I think, 8 points. He only had 1 assist, which we got to get that back up there a little bit. But he only turned it over 1 time. And to me, it's just getting his shooting rhythm back and getting his legs back. We're just hopeful that he obviously stays healthy here for us.
Last question, Dustin.
I was actually going to ask about Eastern.
All right.
So.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay.